Dude, we got a... Oh, fuck. Dude, we got a goblin of some kind in the chat right now. Hi. It's me. Usually I wait longer, but, like... here's a fun little secret. This is gonna be my least viewed stream ever. And I'm okay with that. This is for me. This is a one... Just for me. This is a, you know... Sometimes you go with the trend, you get a lot of views, you get a lot of money and whores, but sometimes you gotta have a little treat that can't be beat just for yourself. So, hi, I'm gonna be doing a thing that I think, I'm gonna be doing something that, is most commonly... Skip the YouTube video's gonna play. No, I have desktop audio off. I'm gonna do something that is most commonly associated with Grapefruit. He has like spreadsheet brain rot, and has been doing a thing for like I think like a couple years now where he reviews every game he has streamed in like a big spreadsheet. And I thought that is exactly the kind of thing I want to do because I want to give my post-mortem thoughts on all the games that I played and be able to like rank them and tell you how I feel about them. And so this, I guess I've been streaming for like around a year now, so that's fun. But the whole thing with this is that, what am I trying to say? Illegal activity. Shut up, Velo. The thing that I want is I wanna, you know, because I think this first year of me doing streaming stuff is I think can be like quantified as the like the normie era where I've been streaming a lot of really popular games. So what I want to do is probably after Halloween, because I have some Halloween streams of some stuff, is I'm gonna try and focus more on like the really weird obscure shit. Because I've thought of like, man, I am not I'm not doing myself justice. You know, what do I want to say? Like Hi-Fi Rush, Worms, Mario 63. What the hell are you doing? So, oh, I guess I have some weird stuff in there. But so this is gonna, we're gonna have a lot of big popular games here. You're gonna have my scolding. I hate saying hot take. Hot take makes me sound like a tool. Makes me sound stupid. Makes me wish I was fucking dead. I wish I was fucking dead. Sorry. Yeah, let's get straight into this, and let's just make sure that I have my audio right. And this is the spreadsheet, and there's no... Okay, you can't see my IP address or anything. So I have I'm gonna be playing my own music. You won't be able to hear it because desktop audio is off, but you will. But I suggest you get your own lo-fi playlist. As, I don't know, maybe you hate my music. I'll probably just listen to the same song the entire time. So, this is my whole spreadsheet. I have two other categories here, just like stuff I want to do, and then stuff for the Mortal Kombat series, which is a big elephant in the room. We'll talk about that. So I have all these games. I have some notes. I have, the name of it, the status, what system it was on, and then I have a rating of 1 to 10 with a non-applicable. We'll talk about that, and then do I recommend it? No, maybe, or yes. I was thinking of having a little bit more to it, but I realized, like, I thought about it and I was like, no, because as there are maybes here that like I would have to think about before I recommend somebody. I might also have some yes asterisks. Uh, but we'll see. Point is, I mean, you kind of get the concept. I'm just going to go through top to bottom. This is based on uh, when I streamed them. So the first real stream I've ever done, there was a test stream where I did play like a handful of games, but like the first real stream, sorry, was me playing Busta Groove 1 and 2. And most of you probably don't even remember that. If you're a new fan, you don't remember when I played Busta Groove. And then scrolling all the way down, you had the last stream I did, which was Super Mario Bros. 2. So I was thinking of putting series together, but I think that this is a little better. I'm a simple man. I see Pete's Tower. I click. You are the person. I literally changed the thumbnail to be like, uh, to have Pizza Tower in it because I knew that was gonna get a couple people. I'm gonna talk about Pizza Tower. Don't you worry. That was not clickbait. Pizza Tower will be talked about here, and a couple other weird Pizza Tower things. Because I have streamed a couple mods. So we're just gonna get straight into it now because I've been like rambling for too much. It's been 7 minutes. It's not okay. Busta Groove 1 and 2. So this is the first real stream I did that was just me playing the game and showcasing it and loving it. And this was a lot of the earlier streams I did were of games I was really like a big expert in, like knew a lot about. Whereas I've been kind of leaning a little lately more towards this being like a backlog clearer, essentially, my streams, which I think is a very good way to approach it. Okay, I'm more important than therapy, but fine. Don't call me a smelly babe. You're freaky. You're weird. Your friend's small. I find weird. It's one of my favorite images in the world. There's somebody like it's like my PC's broken. I'm starving for PT content. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, memes animates. I will give you your slot. I promise you. But first, Busta Groove 1 and 2. No more distractions. So Busta Groove, I guess I'll explain these games also. Is that Busta Groove 1 and 2 are PS1 rhythm games, but they're not like traditional rhythm games. They're what could be called versus rhythm games. I'm gonna go Pibby on this, like dark mode PFP for a second, just because I need to. I'm gonna put this out in its own window, so I don't accidentally click to something else. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So Busta Groove 1 and 2, they're rhythm versus games. I'm not gonna give screenshots. It's fine. I guess I could like Google search it, but it doesn't really matter. You can watch all these streams if you're really interested in these games, or you can just play them yourself. Which for some of these I would actually recommend more if you haven't watched the stream, is to play them first and watch my reaction. Point is, Busta Groove 1 and 2 are versus rhythm games where the setup is you're on the left, other guys on the right, and instead of like typical like DDR Parappa stuff of like, press the buttons to the beat, it's you are given essentially a button combination, uh, and then you have to type that in like a padlock number. I said like so for uh for example, it'll be like, down, up, left, square. So you do down, up, left, not to the tune of the music. You have to do it as like faster is better, I'm pretty sure. And then the final button is on the fourth beat of the song. So, uh, you know, it's very addicting. Uh, it is extreme. Memes animates. I'm gonna like dethrone your empire by streaming the Garfield Lasagna World Tour first. Actually, I won't because I don't care about that. He's a dog, right? He loves lasagna. Point is, it's extremely fun. It took me a while to like understand what it really was. Hold on, let me turn my cursor on. It took me a while to understand how the game even worked and how to like uh actually do things because it's not just press buttons it is uh for first you press buttons that are not to the beat, then press the button that is to the beat. But also, instead of doing the button it tells you, you can do like attacks and like dodges. Like you have like essentially like attack moves you can use to your opponent and like make them fuck up, and you can really like destroy somebody by there's a mechanic called I don't really know what it's called, but there's like solos essentially where like normally you're both doing button combinations of the song, but there are some moments where it'll stay on one person for like two full four beats, for like 8 beats essentially, and then it'll cut to the other person and they'll do 8 beats. So that's like two combinations you have to do. But if you attack somebody right before a solo, then you can take their part of the solo and do it yourself, so you get basically double points, and it's extremely powerful. So there's a lot of strategy on that, doing attacks, and sometimes your enemy can do attacks and you have to dodge it, which makes it you don't get points, I'm pretty sure, from your next 4 beats. And then whoever's the most points at the end is the winner. It's very fun, very simple. The soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. Even if you don't play this game, go download the soundtrack, especially Buster Groove 2. I'm just gonna straight up say, like, some of like the only reason to play Buster Groove 1 is some of the songs are really like better than some of the ones in 2. There's like Heat's song, which no, that's not as good as his, like. There's a couple. They're both really good soundtracks. Like just just play the second one because it's like way better mechanically, and then listen to the first one's soundtrack. Basically, the only character that took a direct downgrade in their theme, because every character has a stage and a theme song, kind of like a fighting game, is the final boss Robo Z, who second one, it's like some like cool techno track, which is fun, but the first one has Flying to Your Soul, which is like absolutely iconic. That shit is iconic. Let me drink my water. Character design too, really awesome. I love so many of the weird characters. My favorite is the two dancing aliens named Capoeira who dance the dance of Capoeira. They're very fun. They're weird. Their theme songs are always really good. I like aliens. They have like the game has very nice like Japanese Y2K designs. It's mostly in the second one. First one not as much. It kind of felt like mid 90s, and then Buster Groove 2 felt very late 90s, and I love that stuff. You'll see with Planet Dob. We'll get to you, but like I love that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna give what rating would I give? I think I'm gonna give Buster Groove 1 a 7, and I'm gonna give Buster Groove 2 an 8. I think that's how I'd put it. And then I'll put recommend for both of them, but if you like just play 2 basically. I like you could like you can both beat them in an hour, so it's you can basically just play both. But if you only care like so much, just play two. Two is the easily better. There's also like a Japanese only PS2 game that was like the third one, and it has a really weird team mechanic. I want to try and stream that because it sounds very weird and maybe a little fun. But yeah, Buster Groove 102, very fun arcadey rhythm games. Play them with a friend if you can. Get like somebody else to like really get into it and play the versus mode because I have not had I have not had the luxury to be able to have that. So that sounds so fun. Like especially with some of those songs, like this sounds like the most intense thing ever. Okay, so we're starting off so good. Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc. This is I'm just gonna immediately just 10 out of 10. This is one of the best games ever made. Genuinely. So I love Rayman, and eventually I want to do a video on the Rayman trilogy and to get my whole feelings out. But Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc, I want to stream it again because it is one of the best video games ever made. It is one of my favorites, like top 5. I think it is perfect. Asterisk. We'll talk about that in a second. The game is so perfect. It has beautiful environments, really memorable music. Not like the thing is, there's so many unique tracks in the game. I would recommend like you can't really appreciate a lot of them in the game. Look up the soundtrack and like listen to a lot of it, and you will appreciate it so much more. Like there's some iconic themes like the Hoodoo Sorcerer, but there's like some absolute bangers in there. It has a very like weird electronic sound to it, which I think is very fun. Each of the enemies have their own themes, which is cool. But most important part is the two things that make Rayman 3 one of the best games ever made: the gameplay and to a lesser extent the environments. I'll talk about the environments first because it is less important. I have less to say. It's less important. It has some extremely fun, exotic environments, even when they're doing pretty basic level tropes like the snow world and the desert world. They're doing it in such a cool way. Like you start off in the Fairy Council, which feels like it would be. It could very easily be a typical grass level, but like it has like this fantasy theme to it. Like there's a ton of neon glowing mushrooms, there's statues of gnomes, and then you go into this giant building that's like these weird like cyan runes everywhere, and then you go to the first level, Clearly Forest, which like you'd think that sounds just like it's Mario 1-1 bullshit, but like there's a bunch of cool like architecture. There's a lot of like weird ancient structures, and then ones made by the main antagonist, the Hoodlums, that look beautiful. Like there's a very distinct difference between the stuff that feels like it's been there for years and then the stuff that feels like the Hoodlums made it. And it's so cool that you can like if you just like take it in for a second and like remember that there's so much cool stuff to it where you can always tell what was there and what was put in by the Hoodlums. Like there's this, it almost feels like this like anti-industrialism theme to it where, but it's very subtle and very goofy because they don't make like the slop factory where they make like TVs and shit. Like it's very just like they make everything out of wood and cloth because the main antagonist, the Hoodlums, are just like weird a mafia gang made out of cloth basically. Like all the different Hoodlums are made of clothing, which is such a cool and cute and fun idea. And there's so many memorable designs, and there's so many like Clear Forest looks great. The Bog of Merc, beautiful. Actually, fucking like screenshot fodder. This game is screenshot fodder. There's so many beautiful environments that I would love to talk a little more about in specific detail. Like, Bog of Merc, absolutely beautiful screenshot fodder. And then you go to the Land of the Living Dead, which is like beautiful, one of the most like serene and like that is like the afterlife I want to go to. The Land of the Living Dead in Rayman 3. It is beautiful. It is precious. I love it. Oh my god, it's incredible. It's absolutely, absolutely wonderful. And then there's I could go on and on and on, but there's just like, oh my god. And then the gameplay is the best 3D platformer ever made. I will fight on this hill. It maybe I will say this, on your first time you may not agree with me because I even because I grew up with this game. I was very young when I first played it, and I played it a long time after, like 2015 or something, and I beat it, and I was like, that was really fun. I really liked that. And then every time I replay it, I love it more because it has such a good arcadey feel to it. The point system is so addicting. It's so simple and like not stress inducing, but so fun because all it is just when you get points. So when you do basically do anything cool like fucking get a little gem or kill a hoodlum or something, you get points and you enter combo mode. And then let's say an average like the yellow gem, essentially the coin of the game, is worth 10 points. When you get it in combo mode, you gain 10 points and also 10 combo points. And at the end of combo, all of that score goes to your score. So basically, you enter double points mode. And on top of that, there's like 5 main power ups in the game. When you have one of those, you get double on top of that. So you can potentially get times 4 points if you do a combo while you have a power up on. And there's so many fucking fun rooms. There's so many there's so many good mechanics throughout. It's just so fun. The combat is the best platformer combat probably ever. I've heard people talk about Psychonauts 2. I haven't played that yet. I will take a look at it. I've heard good things about that, but Rayman 3 for me is like peak combat in platformers. And you know what? I'm going to say it. Just peak combat in general. Because it's so smart because Rayman 3 is Rayman 3 feels like a mix between a 3D platformer and a first person shooter. And specifically, it makes me think of Serious Sam and Painkiller, which were big at the time, Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, because of the structure of the game is basically like a linear hallway with like maybe some platform in it, and then a sort of a circular arena area with a handful of enemies. In that sense, it reminds me of Half-Life in how there's not a huge amount of enemies. There's like 5, but they're powerful. They have smart AI to it sometimes. Like the normal hoodlums will sometimes jump around and like run around the environment and like reposition, which is so cool. It's like it's not nearly as hard as Half Life is the main thing, which this I'll get to the whole asterisk thing. Um, the game is so fun. The combat is so fun. I've heard people wish that there was more platforming in the game, but I'm like, no, dude. They focused on the thing that like is really good about the game, the combat. Which, dude, I cannot go back to Rayman 2. I cannot go back to Rayman 2. Like that game has a lot of big strengths, a lot of things that are much better than 3, but you seriously cannot tell me that on a pure gameplay level 2 is better. 3 is fucking perfect. And I so desperately want another 3D Rayman game that carries on 3's spirit. Oh my god, it's so fun. It does that hallway arena structure better than most FPS at the time. Because, like, I fucking hate Serious Sam, dude. I hate Serious Sam. It makes me so mad. But Rayman 3, it's does that, like, it does that system so perfectly. You like I want to stress that you probably are not going to think this is a 10 on your first playthrough, and that's fine. And maybe you just don't enjoy it as much as other platforms. That's fine. You have maybe you have different philosophies. Play it, take a break, replay it. If mastering it is so much goddamn fun. Getting the highest score you can is so addicting. I would love just like every fucking game to have that combo system because oh my god, it's so good. Like even like we'll talk about Pizza Tower later. Don't you worry. Even that game, very fun. If it had Rayman 3's combo system, I would never play another video game again. Cause that point system is so goddamn addicting. Like if I got like multipliers like that, I won't. They might actually do that. Pizza Star probably isn't the best comparison because it's not very combat focused. So probably not that. But like, oh my god, it like if like put that in every FPS, dude. That would be something. Okay, so before we move on, sorry, I took a bite of my chocolate bar. Um, the one asterisk. I wish the game was funnier. Sometimes it is really funny, and the actual story's pretty good. The only blemish on this game is that it's really, really racist. Which is a fucking like. I'm sure some people in chat are like, "What?" Let me preface that this is not a constant throughout the game. You like this is not like. Don't worry, but there's if you've played the game or seen much, you know what I'm talking about. So there's the plot of the game is that Globox accidentally eats the main villain, and they have to go to the doctor to get him out. Hilarious premise, right? That's actually really funny and like quirky. The first doctor is a Nazi scientist. The second doctor is like a 60s like hippie like alternative medicine guy. That's funny. That's fine. Like nobody's gonna get offended by that. The third one is Asian, and I'm not gonna say anything further, but it's really bad. Thankfully, they only appear in like two moments in the game, so it's like just if you want to avoid it, just like when you get to the third doctor and you see the pre-rendered cutscene, you just hit the skip button. Just do that, and then you're good. And then there's like like they appear like in one other level, like for like a minute, and then it's fine. And then you can go back to one of the best platformers ever made. It's a good game with very racist. It's only a couple times, so it like it's horrible, but we live with it because it is one of the best games ever made. And apart from that, it is it is inconsistent in how funny it is, but it does have some really good moments. But just pushing that to the side, this is one of my favorite games ever made. I think it is one of the best platformers ever made. I think it is significantly worth it. Because I want more linear 3D platformers. I understand how hard they are to make, but like Sonic and Rayman and Crash are so good. I love linear 3D platformers. Oh, especially just someone fucking make another Rayman 3. Baby want more. That's my thesis. So next up is a Pizza Tower mod. I'm gonna actually save this for later. I'm gonna talk about Pizza Tower first, and then we're gonna circle back to that. So we're gonna go to Mario Kart Double Dash next. When you said Rayman erasing the Simpsons, you imagine the Rayman brand account saying some out of pocket stuff on Twitter. Oh goodness me. Oh, if that happened, oh man, Ubisoft is crumbling already. They don't need that. Okay, so this is gonna be the first interesting case where I have a game I streamed a repaint of. I'm gonna count Double Dash and Double Dash Awesome Edition as two different beasts. So I'm going to quantify them as how good is this of a video game and how good is this of a repaint. So Double Dash, but we're going to talk about Double Dash first, and then I'm going to talk about my experience with Awesome Edition. Mario Kart Double Dash, very, it's Mario Kart. Like I'm good, I'm okay with it. I like playing it. I'll have some fun. I don't really care afterwards. Like, I don't really care about the two team mechanic. It's kind of cool. I don't really need it to ever return. I'm fine. Uh, it's Mario Kart. That's basically it. I am comfortable judging this because A, I've played it before, non-repainted, and B, the repaint doesn't it's still Mario Kart Double Dash really like mechanically, so I'm not missing much. It's just funny visuals. So I'm going to rate this. I'm gonna rate Double Dash a 6, and I'm gonna put the recommendation at, yeah, I'll say yes because it's fun. It's nothing is particularly wrong with it, but I just don't care. you know, it's like I'm okay with it. Just play Mario Kart 8, or better yet, we'll talk about a really good kart racer later. Don't you worry. Mario Kart Double Dash Awesome Edition. This is so people who don't know, repaints are basically a like it's kind of like graffiti in a way where so Dolphin has a feature, and this is mostly with Dolphin, but some other emulators have this now, where you can dump the textures using a game. So like put it's like any 2D thing on a 3D model is usually a texture. So you rip that, and then most normal texture mods are like, oh yeah, I'll make the textures HD. This is basically the opposite of that, where it's just a complete shitpost. Like, absolute raw chaos. Put in like funny Saul Breaking Bad image and like Mario pissing and stuff. And like repaints are really funny, although most of them were in the mid 2010s. So you have that kind of stank of like nightmare. You have that mid 2010s stank of like MLG and Shrek, and like there's some memes that have kind of survived, like CDI stuff like the King, and like I like Trollface is still a little bit like I'm kind of a little done with Trollface now. Like he's gone through so many fucking contemporary punk, post punk phases. I'm done with the Trollface forever now. But like, and then there's ones that are like, and then there's memes in that are just like, oh, right, this was when Steven Universe was really big, and none of the memes were funny. Of like, oh, it's Peridot. And this is not like a knock against Steven Universe. This is a knock against really shitty memes about it, and like like Shrek memes. Like Shrek is still kind of a meme, but whenever I see him, it feels like, how do I say? It feels like Pet Cemetery, of like, sometimes dead is better. We left Shrek behind. We can talk about Shrek 2 as one of the best animated comedies ever made, which I'm not sure if I agree with. It's pretty good. That's a whole other conversation. I like Shrek 2. We're not talking about that. Point is, Mario Kart Double Dash Awesome Edition came out relatively recently. It was a year ago. And I'm going to judge this as an experience, kind of like, in a weird way, it's kind of like Gone Home, like one of those artsy indie games. Like I'm not gonna judge it as raw mechanic experience. I'm gonna judge it as like how entertained was I by the repaint, and I'm gonna put a 5. No, I'll put a 6. I had it like I had a decent time, but it felt very. It kind of reminded me of why repaint started to die out, because it takes a lot of genuine wit to make a really good repaint, which we'll talk about. Epic Mickey Awesome Edition. We'll talk about that. There's a lot to talk about with Awesome Edition. Uh, I would put like I would. So I had kind of fun, but it felt very like basic humor of like, oh, Wario's Peppino now, of like, I wish there was a little bit. This is the most stupidest fucking thing I've ever said in my life, but I wish there was a little more to chew on in terms of like like playing with the absurdity. This is not. I'm not asking for like a deep fucking narrative or something. I'm asking just for slightly like weirder and like funnier textures that felt a little more absurd. Instead of this, which felt like very basic, which is fine. Like this is I can imagine a type of person that would like be unable to stop laughing playing this. But I'm gonna put this at an actually no, I'll put it at a maybe recommend because the maybe is like I don't think a lot of people in this day and age still have this sense of humor. Or maybe they do. Maybe I'm just a snob because I'm kind of a meme snob, which is not a good thing. I'm an asshole. We'll put it like that. So I'll put if this is your kind of humor, I think you would have a good time with it. But for me, I think it's a little too basic. It feels like it feels like it still has the same sense of humor as those old repaints, which to some people like OMG, like I feel so nostalgic for 2016. You're 14. Shut up. Like fuck off with that. I am not nostalgic for 2016. Let's go back to Tide Pods and fidget spinners. No. Which, absolutely no shade against the person that made this, by the way. This is like I still had a good time. I don't want to like shit on it because it is just like an amateur mod made by some asshole. So I had fun. I enjoyed it. I would have liked something a little bit meatier, a little bit more like weirder, because everything kind of felt a little bit basic, which is fine. I just would like something a little more. And speaking of a little more, this is gonna be the first non-applicable. I am going to put non-applicable on recommend for Epic Mickey, but I'm still going to rate it because I'm going to talk about my actual experience with like the actual game. I'm going to talk about Epic Mickey first. Epic Mickey is a game that I think I would have really liked if I played it when I was a kid. This is one of those games where like I'm a Sonic fan. I completely get it. There is no shade to Epic Mickey fans, but this is the kind of thing where it's like I'm too old for this shit. Not necessarily that like because like Sonic, it's not cringe like it like Epic Mickey's not cringeworthy. It's not like you cannot enjoy it at all unless you were a kid and played it when you were young. It's just that it hits extremely different if you're able to immerse yourself in being that kid that like likes Disney, likes Mickey Mouse, and it's like this is Mickey Mouse if he was badass, and it's like fuck yeah, fuck, he's fucking awesome now. I need to turn on my fan. I'm sorry, you're gonna get audio. Turn up your music, kids. I'm sweating right now. Like absolute like, and the game is still cool. And from what I've seen of it, I think the story is very cool. And there's a lot of like the art direction that I've seen is very beautiful. I did not experience this game as intended because of Awesome Edition. This is why there's an NA is because Epic Mickey, the appeal is not the gameplay, which is why I'm giving it a 4. Which is why I'm gonna give Epic. You know what? I'll give it a 5. I will give it. I will give. No, it's a 4. Out of my personal, I might restream default Epic Mickey, and it maybe I'll stream Rebrushed if I ever buy it. But as my personal experience, holy shit, this game is terrible. From a purely mechanical standpoint, because that's what I experienced. I did not play normal Epic Mickey. That's why there's a big NA right there. Keep that in mind. Holy shit, this gameplay sucks. It is trying to be a lot of things. It is a 3D platformer that's also an adventure game that also has like a decent combat focus, and I just talked about a 3D platform with a big combat focus that I gave a 10 out of 10. Epic Mickey is trying to be a lot of things. It's trying to be Mario and Zelda and some fucking other weird thing at the same time, and none of it works at all. Because it is a It is a basic 3D platformer. It is a basic adventure game. It has the most basic combat in the world. Nothing evolves. Nothing feels like, oh man, like this, because it's the worst type of platforming. It's not terrible platforming. It is just the most boring kind where you do your double jump, and then that's it. It kind of also says shooting mechanics is weird. I'll get to that. Platforming is basic as hell. Like in games like Mario, let's talk about Rayman and Mario. They're actually really good two comparisons because in Mario 64 you have a billion moves. You get the side flip, the long jump, the fucking triple jump, the ground pound, dive. So many different abilities all to your disposal. Where the platforming is almost like at a certain point it feels like logic puzzles where it's like, let's try this move and this move. Like it's very addicting due to that. And then Rayman 3 is very simple. You can also put Sonic in here kind of, but they're different in how they approach this. Sonic and Rayman, we'll put classic Sonic specifically, let's point this out, is that classic Sonic and Rayman in Rayman 3, those are the games I want to point out, is very simple in fucking Sonic. In classic Sonic, literally just jumps. He has the spin dash, and he jumps. But there's like shields, there's stage set pieces, there's gimmicks, there's a million different enemies. There's like constant escalation with like the level design. You go extremely fast, and then in Rayman 3, you just jump and hover and punch and like that's it. But there's a ton of different set pieces, and there's also like a bunch of different power-ups that shake up the game, and there's a big combat focus with a bunch of different enemies, and there's a bunch of different like little stage gimmicks, and that's why it's fun. Epic Mickey, you just double jump the whole time. You never get up. There's like no power-ups where you're like, oh, now I can like, now I can do like a big high jump, or now I run super fast, or like now I can fucking, I don't know, do something that isn't just jumping. The story I cannot talk about because I didn't really experience it, but it seems really cool, and I think if I did experience that, I'd give it I'd bump this up to like a 6. But as it stands, story seems really cool. I think the morality choices are stupid. Why would anyone pick the evil path? You're Mickey fucking Mouse. The adventure systems are pretty simple. There's just like a few items you have. Combat is the most repetitive shit in the world. It's so boring. But I cannot in good faith say that I experienced the game as intended, so I think my opinion does not matter. I think that you should not, if you think this game looks cool, I think you should play it and maybe get rebrushed. I've heard that Rebrush is really good. So do not take my opinion as anything other than I experienced it purely mechanically. This is how I felt. But Awesome Edition is another repaint, and I'm going to give this an 8. And I'm going to say I think you should play this. Maybe not an 8. I'll talk about it a little more. But so Mario Kart Double Dash Awesome Edition, which it was actually named after the Epic Mickey one as a fun kind of thing. I thought that was cute, but Epic Mickey Awesome Edition is a repaint with a new story. It has some new, actually created cutscenes with new art, and I think there's some actual voice acting for like Horace or something. They did use AI at one point, but they're not going to do that for the sequel, thankfully. It's just, that's a little disclaimer. It was cool at the time. Nobody cared. Actually, I think some people cared. I'm getting distracted. Point is, Awesome Edition, really fucking awesome. There you go. It is, it's still not my exact humor, because it's very, Skibbity Ohio kind of humor. Not all the time, obviously, but, I'm in a very unique situation where I played Epic Mickey, I'll just call it AE. I played AE, that's also sucks. I played Awesome Mickey. We'll call it Awesome Mickey. I played Awesome Mickey without knowing any of the creators. But through Awesome Mickey, I actually befriended a lot of the people in the team, because I'm now in I'm in their fucking server and shit, and like I talk to them semi regularly. So I have this new perspective that when I first played it, I think is very cool. And just for introducing me to Andrew and all of his friends, I really appreciate that. It made it like I because those guys are great. Fucking follow Function Point. They got good heads on their shoulders. Uh, but Awesome Mickey is because instead of experiencing the art direction and story of Epic Mickey, I experienced the fucking chaotic repaint and the new story, which isn't huge. It's not like groundbreaking, but the fact that there is a real story with a couple real characters in a repaint is a huge step, and it's very inspiring for a project I'm working on that want to talk about like at some point, which is I'm making kind of a repaint. Well, I'll save it for I want to make a trailer for it at some point, but it's very cool and I've seen some of the work they're doing for Awesome Edition 2, which looks so fucking awesome. Again, that was not intentional. It looks so cool. I can't wait for it. I will stream it. I think you should play this if you haven't seen my original stream. You're not going to get much out of it if you haven't played my original stream. Maybe also play Epic Mickey Original first, or just fucking play Rebrushed or something. I don't know, but this is. I would genuinely recommend this as an experience if you haven't seen my stream of it. A lot of the humor is based on surprise and like, oh my god, this is here, this is there. Very cool. Uh, yeah. So I cannot in good faith talk about my feelings about the original Epic Mickey, but I think you should play Epic Mickey Awesome Edition if you haven't seen my stream of it. I think it's very cool. Anyway, yeah, that's the two repaints that I've streamed, and I would like to stream more, but I haven't seen any that have come out as of recent. I hope someone can stream mine when it comes out. You'll see. It's fucking awesome. Cuphead. I'm just fucking. This is another easy one, and Cuphead is another favorite game of mine. I don't really talk about it much because I replayed it a million times when it first came out, and a couple years after. Like I had major Cuphead brain rot. It is still one of my favorite games, but I'm kind of burnt out on it now because I played it way too much. So I very rarely talk about it or like really replay it because I got way too into it, dude. I got way too into it, but they're extremely good. Like the most, the best drawn game ever made. I think I'm comfortable saying that it is the best 2D art in a video game ever. Yeah, honestly, I don't even need to say much because Cuphead, it's like, it is amazing how we managed to get a game that looked so beautiful and also plays excellently. Like, this is a once in a lifetime indie game. Or just game in general. This is what the AAA sphere should be making, guys. Is like, if we lived in a sensible world, like this is what the money for AAA studios should be going towards is fucking incredible games like this. Because the art is beautiful, the music is great. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but some tracks are really fucking good, and the all the characters are so memorable. The game's beautiful. Like the boss rush format is so cool, and like all of the bosses are incredible and so memorable, and there's just like I could like it's just like near perfect. Like I would honestly say this is like very close to not this is no what I'll say is this is not a perfect video game. This is not the best game ever made, but this is perfect for what I want to see in a new game. A beautiful art style, a whole new vibe I haven't seen before in a game, a whole new aesthetic, and fantastic gameplay that like it's so easy to comprehend. It is just shoot the boss, but and like it's very difficult. It was very infamously difficult, but you can learn so easily and understand everything to the point where I could genuinely, but like it. Most people are probably going to take like a long time to get used to it. It reminds me a lot of Pizza Tower actually, and we'll talk about that later. But like a lot of people are kind of going to be like fumbling little white babies the first time they play it, and that's completely fine. It's a very difficult game, but like when you get into the groove and can just so easily glide through it, it feels like you're a god. It is perfect. It is like it is perfect for what it is. I honestly feel the same way I feel about Pizza Tower, where like I think even the imperfections like I think are important for it. Like, cause like I appreciate that games are still willing to have a little bit of CBT while still being completely fair. Because I think like uh AAA game design feels like that they're scared of making someone. Why is this like border so weird? There we go. Of making someone feel like emotions other than constant 24/7 enjoyment. So having a game that like lets you get a little frustrated, and some of the bosses are a little unfair, and there's a little bit of RNG with some bosses that kind of make them for speedrunners, but it's it's nearly perfect, and you can play it with a friend too, which makes it so much fun. Like if you haven't played it, get a buddy and play it together. And even if you have played it, play it with a buddy. Maybe that'll be even better. And then the DLC came out, and my brain rot skyrocketed, and this is another 10 out of 10. This DLC, oh my god, it like all of the bosses are like top tiers. Like these are all, I think the only like no, all of them are like basically all of them are top tiers. I can remember every single one off the top of my head. There's the giant, which is so fun. There's like the cat, the cow, which is so. There's like a really good, like probably the best airplane level. I think the best ones are the final boss, which I won't spoil here, but is very cool and has the best song in the game. Like the final boss theme is one of the best fucking final boss themes ever, and it's so good. It like basically the way to put it is that it is a Cuphead version of a JRPG final boss theme, and it is perfect for that. Fantastic. Again, won't spoil it. And the mechanically the final boss is also incredible, and oh my god, it feels like such a perfect finale. The new character I don't really like that much, but they're fine. I'm sure some people will prefer them mechanically and aesthetically. I just like Cuphead. I'm a normie. I'm okay with that. Yeah, this is just also my new favorite charm. I think it was like the HP parry, where you can get health ups for parrying things. Easily the best charm in the game. Fucking love that. And I streamed this DLC with Lilith, one of my bestest buddies, and it was a very fun experience to play it with somebody else, even if Parsec was being a fucking bitch about it. Going straight in the opposite direction, we have Infernal, this is part of a series I wanted to do called PC Jank Night, that I ended up not really doing anything with, because, like, how do I say? Nobody watched it. I want to stream this again at some point and like stream more the janky old PC games because this is my true love, guys. This is my true love. But holy shit, this game is terrible. This is like exactly the kind of weird thing I want to play. I have so many thoughts about like this specific era of PC gaming, of like the PS2, PS3 era, before Steam just like homogenized everything. It's so weird and cool and looking back on it. Like there's so many weird random old games that you can find that just like it feels like someone put like their entire pussy into it, but just nobody cared. I'm just gonna just very quickly. I'll put it at like a 4, and I'll put it at a no, because this is not a good game, but it's very funny. If you want to play a really if you want to play a so bad it's good game, there are better ones, but this is a pretty decent pick. If you've kind of if you know this is like like I was thinking about how Red Letter Media they called Wish Upon one of my favorite bad movies like advanced AP class bad movies. This is like advanced bad game where like you kind of have to like be a connoisseur of trash to really appreciate how funny bad it is because a lot of the acting's really funny and like the actual gameplay's fine but there's a lot of like funny eccentricities to it. It's not really worth playing unless you're like very into this like old PC games like an obscure PC games like I am. It's whatever. Not really much to say about it. You're like I forget like everything. I think you're like a psychic soldier for Satan or something. It's not as interesting as that sounds. I just described like an infinitely cooler game right now of psychic soldier for Satan. Say that 5 times fast. And now we have Super Mario Bros. Yes, fucking play Super Mario Bros. It's good. I really appreciated it for what it was, but it's not really anything. You or I could make this. It's like Shakespeare, right? You or I could make like a better game than this in like a month, but the fact that this was doing so much back then and paved the way so much is so cool, and it's it's always good to look back on. I'm stretching. Sorry. Uh, I don't. What the fuck do you want me to say? It's Super Mario Brothers. I still really want to read that book about this soundtrack because I'd love to hear a bit more about it. And dig my order. Hold on. I'll drink water and then we'll talk about Pac-Man World. Uh, Actually, I'll say one other thing is that I don't really play many NES games, and I'm just gonna say I get why like 40-year-olds are like Nintendo fanboys because this is not true anymore. Well, mm, in the 80s, Nintendo was the only company making real video games. There's like Capcom, Konami, that's it. Like those two, like with like Mega Man and Castlevania, and then more, and then all the Nintendo stuff. Those are the only real NES games. Like who gives a shit about anything else on that console? Let's be real. Holy shit. What a dumpster fire. I mean, retroactively, let's be clear. It was insanely innovative and did so much work for the industry. But holy fuck, nobody cares about it anymore for good reason. Pac-Man World. Uh, yeah, this is another very easy recommend. Do I want to give it a 9, actually? Ooh. Do I dare give it a 9? This is like, oh, do I give it a I'm gonna put, okay. I'm gonna put a 9, but I might talk myself out of it. Pac-Man World, uh, Metroid's giving me I mean, that's, first off, that's not a Nintendo game, so it kind of proves my point. But I don't care about like I don't I'm not a Metroid person, and it's no shame against the actual game. I'm just stupid and like hate being lost. Pac-Man World. This is another fucking favorite this is another favorite game. A childhood classic of mine. Not as this is like a little more like nostalgia than Rayman 3. Uh is it really nostalgia? So this is one of those games where when I was a kid, I went on YouTube a lot and I saw a lot of videos about Pac-Man World that were just like gameplay clips, and it felt so cool and mysterious to me. And then I actually played it at some point, and I was like, "This is awesome! I love Pac-Man World." And yeah, no, I still really love Pac-Man World. I think I'm gonna give it an 8. I think, like, yeah, okay. If Buster, Do I want to give Awesome Edition an 8? Is it really... Is it that good? Is it Busta Groove 2 good? No, it's a 7. I'm sorry. I just looked back at that and I was like, that is not right. I do not feel right about that. Pac-Man World. Sorry, that was... Oh, yeah, this is like, you know, my comparison. Like, is it as good as Busta Groove 2? Yeah, I'd say it's about as good as Busta Groove 2. Pac-Man World is a 3D platformer that plays like a 2D one, basically. You mostly go from side to side, and there's a bit of, you know, up and down, but it's mostly left to right with some depth. And I think that's actually very cool. I think it's allowed to... It's very different from other 3D platformers at the time. And I think some people might be kind of, like... kind of feel whatever about it because of that, but I actually really like how arcadey it is. It is a very, very good translation of old school Pac-Man to a modern platformer. I think it's very fun. I think Pac-Man is very fun to control. He has a very cool moveset of like the rev roll and the butt bounce and the most underrated mechanic that I really like, shooting Pac dots. Nobody fucking uses it but me, but I think it's very fun to use. It's not... There are much better PS1 platformers that I can't name right now. I think, like, Crash 2 is, I think a better platformer, probably. Or maybe. No, you know what? Fuck you. I love Pac-Man World. That's one of the best PS1 platformers. That's my bold opinion, and you can disagree if you want, but that's how I feel. But yeah, we'll give Pac-Man World's an 8. I think it's very fun. I think the environments are very nice. Like, a lot of it's kind of generic. This was... Does anyone else notice this weird era in the PS1, sometimes PS2 days, where every platformer had the pirate level? Pac-Man World did. Fucking Cool Spot Goes to Hollywood did. Like, Adventures of Lomax did. They had the Spooky World that was like a graveyard. They had the Space World, which my ass loves space levels, so I'm okay with that. But like always like also like ancient civilization world. You know what I mean? These are all in Mario Party 2. I just realized there's like the Pirate Land, Space Land, Horror Land. Like that was a weird trend. You don't really see that anymore. You don't see those level themes as much, where it's like very specifically pirates, ancient civilization, space. A lot of them had like a couple of them had circuses and factories. Those are both in Pac-Man World. And then haunted and like scary graveyard. Very weird era, but I really like the environments of Pac-Man World. The music is really underrated. It's not like 10 out of 10. It's no Plock or like Sonic or like anything like that, but it's a very solid soundtrack that incorporates the Pac-Man world, the Pac-Man leitmotifs very subtly and very cool. Like if you listen in, a lot of the songs very subtly use the Pac-Man jingles of like beep 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 and like but very subtly. They always do it in a very subtle way that's very cool and feels like, yeah, this feels like Pac-Man. Very, very awesome. Very underrated soundtrack. Not like 10 out of 10, but very good soundtrack. Actually, that describes the game. Not 10 out of 10, but very underrated. It's a bit of a hidden gem. Pac-Man World 2 gets all the love. I don't know what it is with me in platformer trilogies where I have to be the contrarian asshole and say the second one is always the best one. No, sorry, the second one's always the worst one. Because I don't like Rayman 2 as much. I don't like Pac-Man World 2 as much. I'm the opposite with Crash Bandicoot, but I think that's more of a that's the accepted take now, is that Crash 2 is the best one. I'm also like that with Sonic Adventure, kind of. I need to stream Sonic Adventure 2 because I have so many conflicting thoughts about it, and I might make a video comparing one and two, but yeah, Pac-Man World, pretty good. Boss fights are okay. Some parts are CBT, but it's very arcadey fun, and another very good score attack platformer. I like getting fruits. 8 out of 10. Pikmin 2, we're just gonna put a very quick, put it, 2 for Pikmin 2, and fuck no. Maybe I'll give it like I'll give it a 4. Yeah, okay. I enjoyed it about as much as Epic. No, a 5. I'll be nice. Pikmin 2, I love Pikmin. Pikmin 1 and 3 are some of my favorite games ever made. Pikmin 2 and 4 make me wish I was dead. We'll just talk about Pikmin 2 right now. Just Pikmin 2. This game takes everything that I love about Pikmin and goes, no, no, I don't want that. It's like, no, we're gonna, de-emphasize all of the things that you like. It feels like Knack, you know? Remember how Knack was a platformer with de-emphasized jumping? So you just walked around and it played cutscenes of Knack doing jumps for you? That's how I feel about Pikmin 2. Where it's like, no, you don't want to grow your Pikmin. You want to spend all your time in fucking caves that are like hours long. Why did they think the caves were good? Why did they think the caves were worthwhile? Well, I'm just okay. I'll say that. Okay, first off, I streamed this. I specifically streamed the mod Pikmin 269, which is better than Pikmin 2, and I would maybe recommend if you're. We'll talk about that later, but Pikmin 2 genuinely just don't even fucking. No, I'll put a maybe. I'll put a maybe there because it has it has very good characterization. Probably the funniest Pikmin game. The Piccolopedia and the treasure pages have so much good dialogue and like have so much good insights to Olimar as a character. Captain Olimar is my favorite Nintendo protagonist because he's just a guy. He talks, he has a wife and kids, he's a space trucker. It's awesome. And I love Olimar, and Olimar and Louie have a really fun dynamic. I really like them. Everything about the game is an improvement from Pikmin 1, except for the gameplay, which is terrible compared to Pikmin 1, and I think the soundtrack isn't as good, but is alright. There's some really good songs, and there's some that are like, whatever. Pikmin 269 is a more enjoyable experience than Pikmin 2, despite it also being such fucking CBT. I straight up, like, maybe one day we'll finish this, but for now, like, oh my god, I need a break. I need a long break from Pikmin. Because holy shit, those caves hurt my balls. Olimar the normal guy, Louis the war criminal, exactly. No, the best part of Pikmin 4... I won't spoil, actually. No spoilers for games on this stream. I'll try to not spoil that. So, Pikmin 269 is kind of like, I call it a Neo repaint, where it is not just a texture mod. It is, first off, it also has a new story. Not as good as Awesome Edition's story, but what can you do? It has new gameplay mechanics, restructured and new levels. Like a lot of new mechanics, like all the Pikmin, as they're called now, are different from the normal Pikmin. They're different stats. It's very fun if you're a diehard Pikmin fan. Just take your time with it, because it's CBT. It is CBT. I put maybes for both of these because I think you should only play these if you're Pikmin fans. If I want to stream Pikmin 1 and 3 at some point because they're my favorites, and those games are gonna like. I love Pikmin 1 and 3. Those games are like iconic. So that's Pikmin 2 and Pikmin. I guess I kind of skimmed them because there's not much to say about them. Pikmin is very funny. It has a lot of funny haha memes. It doesn't feel like it has. It's weirder than some other repaints, which I like. Although it definitely does feel like the tastes of the developers are very basic. Like, wow, Mario and SpongeBob. That's the meanest thing I've ever said. That's so cruel. How could I say that? I like Mario and SpongeBob, okay? Just put another weird shit. There is actually the thing I'll say about Pikmin beforehand is that there's a lot of really cool floors that are from other games. Like, you fight a boss in a Luigi's Mansion boss arena. There's a floor based on LSD Dream Emulator. I think there's one based on Hannonbo, if I remember correctly. The LSD Dream Emulator one is very cool. There's some other ones I'm forgetting, but it's very cool. I would recommend it if you're a big Pikmin fan and you are good at the games. And we're just gonna move on to Mortal Kombat. No, I'm kidding. Everything I said about Cuphead, put it again for Pizza Tower. This is the perfect video game. It is not a perfect video game, but it's everything I want to see in a new game release. It is... The art style is, like, unlike anything I've ever seen. It feels like a mix between, like... Everyone says this, but, like... It's got this, like, three-way mix of, like... 90s cartoons, MS Paint, and, like, old PC games. It most reminds me of... Like, if I had to pick one game that it's like, that isn't Wario Land, I would pick Jazz Jackrabbit 2, which I think was an actual inspiration for the game, so I feel pretty fucking vindicated about that. Pizza Tower is like, like it feels so much like a late 90s PC platformer. Like, again, if you like this game, I think you should check out Jazz Jackrabbit 2. Not as good, a lot jankier, a lot less polished, but very fun, and it has its own vibe that I really like. But this is everything I want in a video game, and it's such a unique and wonderful art style. The music is one of the best soundtracks ever fucking made, and it was made by just some fucking randos, like, making it in an FL Studio. I used the same program that these assholes did, and I'm like, what the fuck? How did you make that sound like that? That's insane. Music is perfect, visuals are literally perfect, gameplay is near perfection. When I first played it, I gave it a 9, because I wish there was a little more narrative to chew on, but as I played it more and more, I realized, no, it's perfect as is. I think that this is just one of those games where you just can't have more story to it. I think it works really well as just a little silent cartoon, and you know what? Fucking story that is there is awesome, because without even a single line of dialogue, you have just characters being themselves and showing the environments. You can listen, you can like take so much there. There's so much to intellectually chew on just from little details. You can there's so many cool little details, from like funny stuff to you get so much about the characters. Just little moments. Like, it feels like Sonic 3 in that there's not a single spoken word, and that it's not like a complex story, but everyone gets it. Everyone agrees. Like there's the hints of Peppino being a war veteran. There's some weird... I don't know, McPig has stated some weird shit about the game's canon that I don't like, but I like to, like, but like, there's a lot you can interpret from just, like, levels like Don't Make a Sound, which, you know, can kind of make you imagine, like, oh, this must be something, you know, this could say a lot about the characters, and the story beat of the final boss, I won't spoil it, I guess I already said the other stuff, but, like, the final boss, will not spoil it, one of the best final bosses ever fucking made. Fantastic emotional peak. It is the perfect ending for the game. It's perfect. McPeace doesn't want to take the canon seriously. I'm not taking it seriously, man. No, it's a goofy ass cartoon, but I still, there's still like some details about the like how the worlds work that make me like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, dimensional gates? The final boss is God. What? But that's fine, because of how little there is in the actual game, you can make your own interpretation. And the you know, the Pizza Tower in my brain may be a little different from yours, but I think that's cool. This is just a perfect video. The gameplay is so fun. It takes, like, we don't need a new Wario Land anymore. Just straight up, the thing I realized, like, because I didn't play Wario Land originally, but I played it after Pizza Tower, and I was like, oh, this is really fun, I really like this. Even before Pizza Tower, I was like, I would have probably thought like, I don't think we need a new Wario Land because there's like 5 Wario Lands and like, okay, only like, you basically only need to play Wario Land 4 and like Virtual Boy Wario Land. Other ones you can skip, but still, like, I don't really need another one. Like, if we had to sacrifice Wario Land to get WarioWare, fine, dude, because WarioWare is fantastic. That's another game I want to stream. But like, Pizza Tower completely erodes any need for a new Wario Land because it is perfect. It's Peem. It's Peem. Like, there was literally like one room in the game that sucked, and it was the Gnome Forest room. You know what I'm talking about. And then they patched it, and it's fixed now. And now you can play as the Noise. There's like a swap mode, which is like very fun to mess around with. You can mod it to hell and back. It is the perfect fucking video game. It is not for everybody. It's not like a perfect. It is not literally perfect, but is the perfect game that I want to find and play. When I play a game, I hope it's a Pizza Tower or a Cuphead in terms of just having a core idea, doing it perfectly, having a perfect aesthetic, a perfect soundtrack for the game. It is so good. It is worth all of the hype. If you haven't played it by now, give it a try. You're not going to it's not going to immediately click. You're going to need to give it some time, and that's okay. But it's so good. Fucking play it. Mortal Kombat. Okay, so this is part of a series I was doing, and I kind of forgot about because I'm gonna stop doing this series until the Undertale Impulse 2 video came out, which we'll talk about later. But that took a long time, and now I still want to do it, but it's like kind of awkward now. I feel like anxious asking about it because I was doing it with somebody else, my friend Wump. We'll get to it. I have a lot of series right now, but yeah. So I'm just gonna, we're just gonna. Oh, that's Third Strike. Sorry. Ooh, 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 I'm saying a lot right now. Ooh. Mortal Kombat sucks. And I'm saying this as someone that grew up with the series, has a lot of nostalgia for especially 3. This series sucks ass. Mortal Kombat was not a good fighting game for years, and that's why Midway died. Because this series sucks ass. And again, I'm saying this as somebody, I love fighting games, I grew up with the series, I will always have a love for it. Don't play these fucking games. Mortal Kombat 1, like, it has a charm. You can play it with a buddy and you'll have fun. I'll be nice and put a maybe on these. It's not worth it. Like, Mortal Kombat 2, it's better, but not by much. Mortal Kombat 3 is better, but not by much. Mortal Kombat Trilogy is basically just all of them, and it's really all you need. It's still a 5 out of 10. They're good fighting games that just fuck around with the boys. And for that, I'll give Trilogy a 6, because it's the one you fuck around with the boys in. It is an era of fighting games where they were just goofy as shit. And nobody cared about balancing. And you know what? That's fun. I'm gonna take my order. Oh, that's good water. When we get to the modern games with like Mortal Kombat like X and 11, oh god, I gotta play the new. Fuck, I gotta buy the new one. When I get to it. Like, I haven't played those yet. I did play the reboot on PS3. That one I remember being kind of fun. Maybe play those. I haven't. We'll get to them. But holy shit, dude. These games suck. Like, so the soundtracks, there's some nice songs, I guess. It's kind of like it's all right. The aesthetic, I think the mocap is cute. We'll talk about Gold in a bit. The mocap is very cute and charming, and the aesthetic is fun, and the character designs very goofy, very American. I'm not picking the colors of gradient. Suck my dick. Suck my dick, okay? Are there even 10 colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's exactly 10, but then I could have put non-applicable as one of the main colors. Look, this is just simple, okay? Fuck off. Point is, Mortal Kombat Trilogy is the one you should play. Fuck around with the boys in it. That's how I played it, and it was very enjoyable. I laughed my ass off at these two games specifically. Mortal Kombat Trilogy is fun to play with the boys, and then that's it. Mortal Kombat Gold is in 3D, and it's also extremely funny to play with the boys. You know what? For that, I'll give it a maybe. These are fighting games you play with the boys on a Saturday night when, and like what the one asshole finds the cheap infinite and no and keeps doing it on everyone else, and then you find a way to get out of that infinite and everyone screams in hype. It's one of those fighting games, right? It's like who can find the cheap bullshit. My cheap bullshit is I play as Rain, and you know exact if you played the game or seen the stream, you know what I'm talking about. You pick Rain, shoot the water that makes you like control them, and then you do the Thunderbolt, and you hit them with the water ball again. Perfect. These are very fun games with the boys. Mortal Kombat Gold, less so. It's in 3D and it's charming. The cutscenes are fucking infamously hilarious. Not really worth playing. We had some laughs, but I'm putting no. I'm putting a no. No, because it's less fun with the boys than the other games. That's how I'm judging these. These are fun games to play with the boys. None of these are worth playing now, at all, unless you're doing a series like I am. I promise, but it won't bet soon. Street Fighter 3 though, I only streamed this once. We did this at the end of the first Mortal Kombat stream. You should play this. It is not my favorite fighting game. One day I'll stream my favorite fighting game. That'll be so much fun. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. This is very famous, very beloved, very beautiful. It has the best art of the Street Fighter series. Maybe the best music. The maybe the best gameplay. It's Third Strike, guys. It's Third Strike. Come on. It's Third Strike. You know it, you love it. It's Third Strike. It's like if you've seen, it's just so it is a beautiful game. The roster is fantastic. Amber, I saw the picture of me that you sent me. You sent me this weird cat. This is me, if you even care. This is me. Let's go back to the ranking. It's just so good. There's not much I can even say. The gameplay's fantastic. The roster's very awesome. I like Ken and Dudley. That's the characters that I play. Like a ton of friends that I know are into Third Strike. We play it a lot. It's not my favorite fighting game, but it is very close. Maybe like second place. Because when I was younger, I was into Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel 3 was my favorite. I've since grown up and realized that, you know what? I don't want a million hit air combos. I just want some good old classic hand-to-hand, and Third Strike has that. And also, my favorite fighting game is Sonic the Fighters. Only one I've ever played competitively. I've been in tournaments. You might be able to find me in a couple VODs. I play Metal Sonic in the Community Edition. I play normal Sonic in the Vanilla Edition. You, that is a weird cat. Why did you show that? Is that allowed? You will get a TOS strike. It's fine. It's me. Um, Third Strike is just beautiful. Like it has the best soundtrack in the series, the best art of the series, maybe the best gameplay of the series. It's fucking Third Strike, dude. Like if you like fighting games, why haven't you played it already? It is good to play seriously. It's that delicious little bit of goofiness to it, but you can also play with the boys. It's very simple to pick up. It's a great fighting game for the boys and to play seriously. So that's a 9. It is just perfect. But it's not my favorite, so it's not a 10. I will not give it a 10. But it is very, very good. Planet Dob. Alright, this is a very interesting one because I'm gonna put a yes off the gate, but I'm gonna put an asterisk. Because the game is entirely in Japanese. I did not experience Planet Dob faithfully. Because I couldn't read shit. But I actually beat the game is in its entirety. I only used a guide one time, and it was just like looking for the 100% ending thing. Because I got 100%, I just didn't know where I was supposed to go. So I did. So that's the only time I ever used a guide. Is just like looking for the building to access the 100% ending. Apart from that, I beat the whole game. And without guides, not knowing Japanese, just intuiting what's there, and it was so fun. Like this is a genuine hidden gem. I would give this. I enjoyed it as much as Pac-Man World. It is very niche. You just walk around and see shit and explore, and there's weird mini games that are actually pretty fun. But it's really, really cool and really weird, and I actually really like it. And I can see why it's got like a slight cult following. It's very niche, but it's got some big fans. I'm a huge fan. I put Dob in my card game. Can I pull him up? Dob is in my card game. He's a character. We love it. In this house, we love Planet Dob. This is a really low quality screenshot. I could not get a good art. I could not get good card art for that. Ugh. But Planet Dob is like beautiful. Uh, I would recommend playing it. Uh, if you can stomach the fact that it's in Japanese, and you're probably gonna have a hard time, but it's like I was talking about earlier with Busted Groove 2. This is like peak Japanese Y2K shit. This is the aesthetic I love. It's so cool. It's it's awesome. I love it. You I think you should play it if you're into weird games like that. It's got so much charm. The aesthetic is beautiful. The music is fucking fantastic. It was made by a band, so that's how you that it's got some great music to it. It's weird, weirdly dynamic music. Like it's hard to explain, but like you can like it has like a weird like music maker system where like all of the songs are uh all the songs in the levels are dynamic, and you can like change them once you get all the little guys. I did check my I checked my DMs. This is this is nothing. This is nothing. How am I supposed to use this? I don't care. I'm not fucking doing that. I don't care. Point is, I really I loved Planet Dob. I think it's worth the archaicness to it. Though it gives it look like an acid trip. Yeah, Planet Dob's kind of an acid trip, and I love that. I'm gonna finish my chocolate bar, and then I'm gonna talk about Corn Kids 64. Ugh. Okay, like I'm really trying to. Corn Kids 64. I'm gonna put a yes. I wish I liked this more. For me, it was all right, but like I have this the movement is fun. It's has a beautiful aesthetic. I don't remember any of the music. It is very cute, very enjoyable, but I wish I liked it more because I'm just not really into this type of collectathon where the levels are fucking massive and I don't know what to do. I like Mario 64 because the maps are all fucking tiny. I'm gonna give this, um, I'm gonna give it a 6, but know that like you'll probably like this way more than me. I give it a big yes for a reason. You should play this. You'll probably like it. This is just how I felt about it. I wish I liked it more. It's just not for me. I thought I was not I wasn't sold on the movement. It was fun, but I wish it was like I don't know. It was fun, but I wish there was a little it was a little faster because the run speed felt very slow. Like Mario fucking sprints in 64. It felt more like Banjo Kazooie, which I like Banjo Kazooie, but not nearly as much as Mario 64. Mario 64 is like way better, honestly. Which, I mean, they're still both really good games, but still, like Mario 64 is infinitely superior in my eyes. It's like it's toys. Mario 64 is toys to me. So, okay, this is gonna be a whole block. Is the Sonic games? We're gonna skip Sonic R and Battle Block Theater because Sonic R was the quick thing. Battle Block Theater's Battle Block Theater. We're just gonna do all the Sonics straight up, just to get them over with. Sonic 1, I would give a 6. I would say I think you should play it, but it's better than Mario 1. I think it's pretty good. Um, I'll put a maybe. I think maybe you should. You shouldn't go out of your way to play it, but I think it's very fun. And if you want to see the series, obviously it's worth it. If if you're a big Sonic fan and somehow haven't played it already, fucking play it, you dingus. It's fun. It's not as great as the others. I think it's all right. I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought. I thought I wasn't gonna like Sonic One much, but I actually really did enjoy it. It's a quaint little game. The only bad zone is Labyrinth Zone, and then the rest are good. Green Hill's the best. Unfortunately, I wish the last level was the best, then I would be able to be more positive about it. Like this is when the finale in a game was an afterthought. But yeah, that's Sonic the Hedgehog. There's not much to say about it. Music's good, art is good. It's solid. It's good. And then Sonic CD, I like more and less. I think I can give it the same score, but like it has a better aesthetic. It has better music. I think in some ways it's more fun, but the overall package is definitely a lot worse. I think looking for the fucking robot generating shit and like going to the past and future, very fun. I like Sonic CD a lot. Still very fucking janky. Not nearly as good as the other like 2D Sonics. Like 2 and 3. It's all right. It has two absolutely fantastic soundtracks, CD, US, and Japanese. Like, especially the US one's very underrated. I love the US one. Japanese one's obviously better, but like, come on, man. Like they're both fucking awesome. Okay, yeah, that's Sonic City. Sonic 2, I really ended up not liking as much. I thought it, like, I'm gonna. This is a really weird thing. I'm gonna rate it worse, but I'm gonna say yes, because this is personal experience, and this is should you play it, basically. I liked Sonic 2 less, but I'm gonna give it a yes because I think people will like it more. But this game felt like cock and ball torture all throughout. Maybe I just was having an off day. Maybe I'll play it again and like see how I feel. But holy shit, it felt nightmarish. It was so hard. Oh my lord. Uh, it introduced some cool stuff. Some of it is better. Some of it is worse. I think that Tails is cool, but it doesn't really do anything yet. The special stages are better, but hurt my balls. The bosses are better. Soundtrack is better. It's it's all right. Like it's still like it's not amazing, but like it's pretty good. It's worth a play. I think you should try it out. It's fun. Not really much to say because it does in some aspects feel like more of the same for me. Even if I like the environments more. It's classic Sonic. I just have little to say on these like really big popular games. They're just like, yeah, it's good, it's whatever. But now we have Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which I'm going to give a 9. This is one of the best 2D platformers ever made. I'm serious. This game is so good. It feels like it was made today. The levels are fantastic. The art is beautiful. It looks like candy. I want to eat Sonic in this game. The soundtrack is phenomenal. Like Sonic 1 and 2, pretty good soundtrack. Like nothing stellar. Uh like other 16-bit OSTs are better, like Donkey Kong Country and Clock, but Sonic 3, phenomenal, iconic, legendary soundtrack. The three playable characters are really fun. Like Sonic and Knuckles are so fun. Sorry. The Knuckles route is so cool. That's a cool idea. The Sonic is so fun. I still think you can't do the Tails assist, can you? Or no, I think you can do it in like two player. But the elemental shields are perfect. Everything's so fucking fine tuned. It feels like a game that was given like 5 years of development. Like it feels like it was given so much time to polish, but they rushed out so quickly. And I think it's because here's the secret to Sonic games. When they find a way to just like the best Sonic games always have a way to just have like 8 levels or some shit. Like Sonic 3 and Knuckles got split in half, and that gave them so much time to refine and perfect those two level packs. Sonic Generations, they just openly said, fuck it, it's 9 levels, 2 acts, we can reuse assets. And it's one of the best Sonic games. Like, when they're just allowed to go, yeah, our game is gonna be short, fuck it, they make the best Sonic games. Except for Forces, which felt like it was really annoyed about being 3 hours long. Oh man, that game. Oh, not looking forward to it. Why did you post a mirror emoji? Point is, this game is still fresh, still worth it. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Bewitched mirror emoji. Oh, I see. It's Peem. It's Peem. Sonic Adventure. Oh, do I give this a 9? I kind of want to give it a 9, but I know that it's not. Okay. If this game was just like, this is a hard one because this game contains. This is the thing about the interesting thing about Sonic Adventure games, and like this, the Sonic games multiple gameplay styles. This contains a 10 out of 10, but is weighed down by like 5 out of 10 stories. If it was just like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Gamma, no Amy, no Big, I think this would be a 9. But as is for the overall experience, I'm gonna give it an 8. But know that like Sonic story, Tails story, and Gamma story especially, those are my three favorites. Like those together are like a 10 maybe. It is not, maybe not a 10, but like a 9. Shouts to the Sonic 3 beta special stage text. They should have kept the text saying "Get blue balls." In the perfect timeline, we could have had the blue balls. But yeah, Sonic Adventure is like it has like it's so good. It is absolutely not perfect. It's very janky. I think you should play it. Like I played the original Dreamcast version for this, so I had no outside influence of like, oh, I can make the physics better. I can, do cheats. I can make the game look better. Uh, no outside influence. Dreamcast version. Sonic 3 is a 10. I was there. It's beautiful. Like if you're playing this just casually, get the Steam version and mod it with like the Dreamcast conversion mod. You have 60 FPS, widescreen. Like you can probably find a ton of bug fixes and like input mods to make the game like perfect. That's the best thing about Sonic is that if there's a problem, it can be fixed with mods. But even just playing the Dreamcast version, it's an 8. You could probably make it a 10 if you had the right mods. But Sonic Adventure is so fun. The aesthetic is so good. Like, another Y2K game with like it felt very like optimistic, like millennium stuff. Not millennial, but like it was gonna be the year 2000. Shit's gonna be different. We have the internet now. There's DLC. You can go on the internet. You can raise a weird little pet. Like, it's Peem. The game is Peem. Guys, the game is Peem. Do you understand? The game is Peem. Like, it's still worth playing today. Even if you didn't play it even if you didn't grow up with it, you're probably gonna have a rough time with some of the characters. But I think it's worth playing. Just play through Sonic's story, and if you like that, you can play the rest. Because I think Sonic's story still really holds up as like a 9. And then also Gamma's stories, like Sonic and Gamma are the best of the best. If you don't care about like getting all the stories and like fully beating the game, just play Sonic and Gamma. Tails is very fun. Tails is the kind of underrated because he's I think in some aspects more fun than Sonic, but like not as good because he has very bite-sized race levels. But yeah, Sonic Adventure, fucking great. Oh my god, I never did Pizza Rank. Okay, next thing I do is Pizza Rank. Sorry. So yes, you should still play Sonic Adventure to this day. Get the PC version on Steam, mod it. But if you're a purist like me, you can still play it on the Dreamcast and still have a great time because it's still very fun. Pizza Rank. This is a mod for Pizza Tower where Pizza Head is constantly chasing you, and that's basically it. There's some level design changes, some aesthetic changes, all the music's different now. It's not original music, but I don't really mind. I'm gonna give this an 8. I don't have much to say on it. There's gonna be an update with the Doys soon. I don't. Oh fuck! Should I have said that? I don't know if that's. There's going to be a noise update. And I beta tested it and it's pretty fun. I think it's gonna be great. Until then, it's a fun challenge, you know. So like, there's some parts that are complete bullshit. It's not like go out of your way and play this, but it's fun. It's toys to me. If you even care. I don't really have much to say on it, honestly. Like it's a very simple mod, but it was fun. I had a good experience. I basically beat it all in one sitting, except for fucking War, which was so hard and so annoying. Sonic R, just fuck. It's Sonic R. Like, I don't care. It's whatever. It's like, again, it's Sonic R. You can have some fun with it. It's another game you play with the boys. I don't hate it. People kind of went overboard on like Sonic the Hedgehog is so fucking bad. Sonic R is fucking cringe. Like, calm down. It's not that bad, but you still don't really need to play it. Play Sonic Riders if you want an official Sonic racing game, and if you want unofficial, wait till the end of this list. Sonic Riders is the best Sonic racing game that is official. Uh, Sonic R is okay. I would love to see them try and make another on-foot Sonic racing game. Uh, yeah, it's got a very good soundtrack to it. Very, very cheesy pop sound that I actually really like. It's not one of the best OSTs, but I like it. If you want a Sonic game on the Saturn with a great OST, Sonic 3D Blast Saturn version. That shit will change you. Go to YouTube right now if you want the vibe for this stream. Sonic 3D Blast Saturn, Rusty Ruin Zone, Act 1 or Act 2. Put that shit on. You will cream. I don't really have much to say about Sonic R. It's fucking boring. It's not boring. It's kind of fun, but like, it's whatever. It's all right. It's Sonic R. It's fine. So I'm gonna get some comments about giving Sonic 2 a 5, but that's how I felt about it. If I go back, then maybe I'll give it a higher rating. Maybe I'll play Sonic 2 in my own time, because that was just a really, I'll be fair. I'll give it a 6. There you go. Why is there no music? Because you can put on your own music. I would recommend Sonic 3D Blast Rusty Ruin, but you can put on whatever song you want. It's no problem. I just, I don't want people to like die because they're listening to my stupid shit for like 2 hours. My stupid fucking playlist. Okay, so Battle Block Theater. This is a non-Sonic game. Finally, this one was streamed with Andrew. I don't know why I didn't have that on. As I said, one of the people behind Epic Mickey Awesome Edition. This is a fucking excellent game. I did not realize how fucking good this game is. Like, dude, this is legendary. This is, like, I'm not gonna, like, super, like, but, like, genuinely get a friend, play it together. We beat it all in one sitting. It was so much fun. It was one of my favorite streams I've done. It was very enjoyable. Andrew's a very good co-host. He fucking broke me with Dracula toothpaste shitting. It's very fun. Maybe not as fun in single player. But like it's the best game by the Behemoth by a long shot. Maybe I haven't played the newest one, Alien Hominid Invasion. I should buy that one. Fuck. I should really buy that. But apart from that, which maybe be better, this is my favorite Behemoth game. It's so fun. The aesthetic is very cool. It's very Newgroundsy while still feeling like its own thing. I like the old theater theme to it. The soundtrack's really memorable. The song that goes like fucking great. They got Stamper as the announcer, and he's so fucking he's iconic for a reason. There's like there's not much story to it, but it's like what is there is very fun. I have autism for pre-rendered cutscenes, so that shit was all W for me. I love my pre-rendered cutscenes. I have brain rot. I love the puppet show theme to it. It's just very fun to play, and it's got a very solid campaign that didn't give us too much of a headache, but we were able to there were some brain teasers, and we figured it out, and it's very fun, and it reminded me a lot of Portal. Very Portal-y game. Except that instead of like the portal gun, it's a lot more based around just like very microscopic platforming is what I call it. It's very, like every block matters. Yeah, just BattleBlock Theater, fucking 9 out of 10. That's a solid recommend. I think it was Pleasant Radiance. I think that's his new name. Yeah, no, that's it's fucking awesome. I was very glad to stream it. We will finish Insane Mode sometime. One day we'll finish Insane Mode. Oh, oh man, we dropped the ball on that, but that's another obligation I gotta do. Floigan Bros. I kind of fuck with this game, but it's also one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. We're gonna put a fat no on there, but I'm actually gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Because Floigan Bros is very fun, very weird, very funny. Remove fun, actually. It's very funny, very weird. I actually really like the ideas it presents, but it is the most obnoxious game ever fucking made. Don't say that. Floyd, you're disgusting. Like, Floigan Bros, I streamed it with Emily. It was very fun. Very, very fun stream. I think she hated it and hates me a little bit to this day for it. Floigan Bros is a Dreamcast game that was... It's like this weird... You play as, like... Their name's like Hoigel and Floigel or something. You play as like a little guy, and you have a big dumb older brother that you have to like emotionally manipulate to solve puzzles and like play games with to like learn new things. It's so fucking weird to describe. It's such a bizarre game. There's a lot of love put into it. Like the animations are very impressive, and there's like it's very packed with like stuff to do. But it's like very weird and misguided, and I'll put this as a maybe because it's a good, it's like, it's like, it's a very good game to play with the boys. Playing it yourself, I think you can appreciate a lot of the weird ideas it has, but it's still like, what the fuck? It's a game that's very fun to dissect and be like, this is so like, it's very weird. It's very like offbeat. Emily said it very well in chat. It's hard to say I hate it, but it's painful to play. I do not hate this game, but it did like I was so fucking exhausted at the end. Holy shit, I was so done. So there's not much to say on it. It's just a very weird adventure game. I think if you're into really weird games, it would be worth a try. But oh my god, it was a fucking nightmare. Oh, and now we reached the end of the fucking tunnel because now I think like everything I have no more trash to talk about. I have like nothing but banners here. We're gonna give it a 10 out of 10 to fucking Dr. Robotnik's Rain Racers. This is my favorite racing game. This is one of the best fan games ever made. It is nearly perfect. I kind of want to make a second video on it because the first one was kind of quick and easy. This is what I'm thinking about right now. I like Rain Racers a lot. It's fun. I want to give it a critical second look, but right now, because I'm still playing it, I've played it a ton off and on stream. Fucking 10 out of 10. It is so fun. It like the aesthetic is so good. The music choices and the original songs are both S tier. I've like been introduced to so much good music from this game, which is like the thing that I want from a game like this that like steals other music. Give me a soundtrack. Give me some fucking bangers I've never heard, and they delivered. So, and the original songs, Robotnik Coaster and UFO Smasher, are like legendary. That shit is legendary. But there's a lot of like cool story beats to it. Like it doesn't really have a story, but the stuff that it has there is very interesting and cool. and I hope one day they get to extrapolate more on it. I've heard that they're not gonna that they're gonna make one last update and be done with it. Which, if that's true, dude, there is enough here for a lifetime. There are over. Let me do the math really quickly. So there's 5 racetracks per cup, and I'm not going to spoil how many there are because the game slowly reveals more and more content to you over time. But there are so many fucking tracks, you have no idea. There are at least there are over 150 tracks in this. I think nearly 200, and there's some stinkers in there. There's some ones I never want to play again. But you know what? That's part of the fun. I'm just gonna say it. I think that the game would be worse if it didn't have those CBT tracks, because it is like, it's not F-Zero. It's a party racer to an extent still. It's very high skill ceiling, very technical, but there's still that element of goofiness to it that I like. And I think that the game would be worse if it didn't have a couple CBT tracks. There's some that I'm like, I never want to play this again in my life. There's some that I will always pick, like fucking Robotnik Coaster, and Dust Planet, and City Escape, and Lost Colony. Like, there's some others that are incredible. There's like one of the Hardboiled Stadium. And there's also like the funny meme tracks like Pico Park, which is, oh man, Baby Park, but even more crazy. Sign me up, man. Like, it is not Mario Kart, it's not F-Zero, it is a combination of the two, and it's such an addicting, like, it very specifically appeals to my brain. It is so redonkulous, it goes off the rails. Like, almost completely removed RNG from it. There's like very few luck aspects, but there's still a ton of craziness to it. I think it's like S tier. It is my favorite racing game. It's so addicting for me. Not every card can get a ban just to get Cheeseland from Mario Kart 8. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, the tracks, I think there are significantly more good ones than bad ones, but there are definitely like a handful of ones that are like, I don't want to play this ever. But the fact that there are some, like, it's fun to play with friends because there's the CBT tracks, there's the one asshole that picks the track that you don't like, and they fucking pick it every time, and you want to kill them, but it's fun because of that. Like, that's the fun of it, is the craziness, but there's still like so much to mechanically chew on, and the roster is so huge and fantastic. I haven't played the battle mode enough. I want to like give it more of a chance. I'm sure it'd be very fun. I think that it's nearly perfect, and the imperfections help it a lot. If there's any, like, the only thing that I would want is, like, I won't spoil it, but there are hints towards, like, some kind of, like, there's a very, very super secret thing that hints towards potential updates. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, and I would love to see more of that. I think that they've said that they have considered doing like an adventure mode. I don't know if I'd fully want that because I like the cup system a lot. Like, I think it'd ruin some of the arcadiness if there was like a whole fucking hub world shit. I'll see what they do. I'll see what they pull off. If they do that, they might not. Again, like the next update will apparently be the last. I'm okay with that. I hope they add a couple community done tracks, because they're very good. Although at the same time, the game is so fucking huge now, and you can mod it. There are some character mods that I cannot play without. Like, my favorite like loadout now is the noise with Wega, because every time you do your little taunt where the Wega goes, bah! Like, the noise like opens his mouth, and it's the funniest thing in the world. There's even the base rocks is fantastic. They have so many good deep cuts, and you can mod it. And the like I don't know if anyone's tried this, but like the challenges thing, the unlocks are so cool, and I hope that like people find a way to put unlockables in their own mods, because that's the kind of stupid shit that I do because I have brain rot. It's Peem. I'm sorry. It's so good, and I will go on it. I will keep going off and off about the same shit if I don't stop now. So, Ring Racers is a 10 out of 10. I think you should play it. Expect the things you need to know is that the tutorial is very long. There's a lot of information that's going to be pushed on you. You're probably not going to register at all. That's the one thing that I think could be improved is the tutorials. Maybe segmenting them and giving some of them after a cup would be a good idea, like in Team Buddies. Like, if any dev is listening, what I would do is, like, the first few tutorial sections are when you first boot up the game, and then you play the first cup, and then afterwards you get another tutorial, and then keep doing that until you've learned everything naturally. I think that's the way to do it. Because as it stands, there's too much information that you don't process before you get into a real race, so you feel very overwhelmed. But get over that hump. Just accept that you're gonna have a lot to learn, and just go and just have fun. Go on the easy mode, race through things to like at your own pace. Try and fuck with the single player first before you go online, because you can get completely bodied and overwhelmed with so many fucking tracks and mechanics. Just calm yourself and take it slowly, and you will the brain rot will set in. It is not a game I'd recommend to everybody. If you don't like it, that's fine. But people who are bad at it and are too stupid to learn it keep saying that it's bad because they're stupid, and and some people will like use cheat codes to unlock everything and then be mad that they got overwhelmed because they're stupid people that don't deserve to play video games. Just, if it's not for you, that's completely fine. Give it a real chance. I think it's worth it. I didn't fully like it when I first played it. I think it's worth a shot if you think you might like it. Because the thing is, it's a Sonic game. It is a fucking Sonic game. That's the thing you need to remember. It is a Sonic the fucking Hedgehog game. It essentially feels like I think it's complicated because the Ring Racers has so many like mechanics to it. So maybe yeah. That's a whole other conversation. But the point is that Ring Racers is very good. Give it time. You may not like it. That's completely fine. I think it is nearly perfect. The devs put so much of their blood, sweat, tears, piss, shit, and cum into it. It's Peem. It's so good. And now I have to actually stop talking about it. Because I just want to play it again now. Like, once I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Except I never thought I was out. I'm still in, baby. I want to play Ring Racers after this now. Not on stream. Maybe you can find me on. Maybe you can find Gabrieltopia on the modded server list after this, but I'm not streaming. Maybe that's Okay. This is gonna be we're gonna go through the demos really quickly because they're just demos. Anton Blast Dynamite demo. I'm gonna give that an 8. I fucked up. 8. Yes, you should play it. Although the game's coming up pretty soon, so just buy the fucking game. Anton Blast is very fun. I can't wait for the full game. It looks Peem. It reminds me a lot of Earthworm Jim, and obviously there's a lot of Mario influence, but like it reminds me of like Crash and Earthworm Jim. Reminds me like it feels very like grunge 90s. Like this really feels like some weird ass game that will be released like the Game Boy Advance or like this would be one of those games that like Nintendo nerds would not shut the fuck up about 15 years later of like this is so underrated and the best fucking I'm sorry, I keep saying Peem. It's like peak, but you replace K with an M. So instead of saying it's peak, it's Peem. Sorry. This is one of those games that if it released on a Nintendo console, like Nintendo dorks will not shut the fuck up about, but then you play it and you're like, oh, I get it. Like it's very good. Feels very Game Boy Advance. Very intentionally. Aesthetic is very Wario 4. A lot of Crash influence. Again, gives a lot of Earthworm Jim vibes. That 90s grunge attitude to it. It's very solid and very fun, and I think you should play it. Although you can probably just wait until the fucking full game comes out because it's coming out in like a month, right? Okay, building relationships. This one's very, very interesting. I'm gonna give it a 7 because I wish there was more to it. But I really enjoyed the small amount that I played. Very cute, very weird, very fun. It was at like an indie game thing, and it was the only video game I cared about at that thing. It looked very cool. I played it. I'm very excited for it. Can't wait to see the full game. It looks very cool. Kind of janky. I might give it a 6, but I do really like it. I think I'll keep it. It's a 6, but like a very high 6. I'm putting Flogan Rose at a fucking 5. It is not. It gets a 4. I had to correct that. Flogan Rose is not getting a fucking 6 out of 10. It is not Sonic 2 good. Jesus Christ. I could not believe that when I saw it. If this gets a no, also, I would not recommend it. Fuck you, Flogan Bros. I still really enjoy this game. I think it's really cool, but yeah. So, the relationships, yeah, very decent. The big catch, this is another Corn Kids scenario. I wish I liked it more, but it's objectively very, very good. I wish they just had that moveset in a linear fucking platformer. I don't like how large it is. I wish it was smaller, more contained. I wish it feels very Ape Escape inspired with how you catch the fish, but Ape Escape had way smaller levels than this. The Wind Waker thing's kind of cool, where you like surf it on the sand to different locations, but holy fuck, it felt so tiring after a while. It's kind of peem, but I don't know. I think you guys will like it a lot more than I did. I gave up on it. I did not finish the demo. I don't know if there's a finish point, but I didn't get all the little mans. Yik Nameless Psychosis. I was very interested in this because Yik, very famously bad game, but had very passionate developers that are trying to fix it and make it work, which I really appreciate. And from this demo, I think it's actually really paying off. I think I'll give it a 7. And if the game... So, the thing I said on the stream, and the thing I said in the demo is that this is a major gameplay improvement. The combat, fucking super cool, super fun. I really think it's worth your time. And it's an RPG demo, so it's fairly long. You can get a lot of meat from it. And I think it's free. If I remember correctly, you might have to have the. Do you have to have Yik? Point is, Yik by itself. There's a lot to say about it, but Yik Nameless, the new demo, very cool, worth your time. I think that with this new demo, what I hope for is that because they fixed the gameplay completely now. I think that the combat's so much better. The story, I didn't see a massive improvement. There were still a couple lines that I'm like, but they cut out some of the more infamous. They cut out a couple lines. They have a lot more weirdness up front, so you're more okay with it turning to surrealism. It has a very, very different vibe. I think that what's going to happen is either, if they make the story good, this will be a beloved RPG that just had to find its footing. And that's almost to me more inspiring than a game like Pizza Tower, which is like on release was fucking fantastic. Which, oh man, those demos of Pizza Tower were terrible. But that's besides the point. Like a game of Pizza Tower Cuphead took a long time, came out fucking fantastic. I almost would find this more inspiring if the story was fixed and was really good and engaging. And now you have this game which was originally a joke, but is now a beloved RPG classic. If the story is bad, if they didn't fix it and it's still a little cringeworthy and like annoying and not interesting, then the silver lining is the game is still has that B movie quality still, but the gameplay's really fucking fun now. That's the best part, is that even if they don't fix the story, there will still be a really good like RPG game underneath it, and my hope is they make the story really really good, or they keep it as really really bad. I don't want something mediocre. That's the thing that I hope isn't there. If it like it they either I hope the story's either really good or really bad. Because either way, gameplay's fucking like check mark, really good. It's Peem. Okay, I'm gonna actually go through these three demos too, just going really quickly. Boombuster, fucking. This looks like one of the best fucking games in the universe. Not literally, but like this is looking incredible. The demo's super addicting. It looks so good. Music's fantastic. Visuals fantastic. Gameplay fantastic. Instantly memorable characters. Love the art style. Very like it wears its influences on its sleeve. You can tell it's inspired by Pizza Tower in some aspect, but it has a very different vibe to it. It has kind of like a very graffiti feeling to it. Also influenced by Smiling Friends, which is very cool. A lot of the enemy designs, you can kind of tell, they look fucking horrid, but they're awesome. 500 caliber contracts, another one I wish I liked more. I think you guys are gonna like it a lot more than I did. It's very fun, very like the movement's kind of weird, but I ended up liking it. The actual level I didn't like the actual level. It's kind of weird. I really enjoyed the gameplay, but I just thought the level was too large. I couldn't necessarily click with it. It's alright. Myths are 100% true. As a demo, I'm just gonna give it an 8, but this looks like another fucking banger. This was made by Leather Ice Cream and another guy. I forget the name, but this is partially made by Leather Ice Cream. He does the art, and he made my favorite game of all time. At least there was Cheddar Chedovich. You know my brain rot for it. This is looking to be a 10 out of 10. If they can nail this is going to be another favorite game of all time for me. Not number one. Cheddar's still up there because I'm broken, but this looks so fucking good. The aesthetic, it's so Newgroundsy, and I love the art style they're going for. It looks so delicious, and it looks very it's very colorful while still being very like toned down. It's very like chill visuals. Like it feels very like calming. The gameplay's so fucking addictive and fun. It's so toys. It's toys to me. The music, I don't really remember most of it, but it was pretty alright. It's Peem. This is looking to be a 10 out of 10. Demo is alright. Okay, let's just check for any blemishes. Note that's good. Okay, only a few left, and then my throat is starting to hurt. So I'm going to turn off the stream after I do Mario 2. Super Mario 64, it's fucking Mario 64. I'm going to give this an 8. I wouldn't call it one of my favorite games, but it is a very, very good one that has held the test of time. I think it is still worth playing. I think it's very fun. It's extremely fun to replay. Mario's movement is my favorite Mario moveset ever. The levels are so tight and small. It's so much fun to just like run around. All the levels are so compact. There's so much to do in it. It's still really fun. I played it through a randomizer, but I played it on and off just by myself. So I'm willing to give this an 8. Very fun game. Some of the later levels, like the game really goes downhill in the final third, because there's I love Tall Tall Mountain and Snowman's Land, and then there's Tiny Huge Island, and then Rainbow Ride and Tick Tock Clock, which are 3 terrible fucking levels that I never want to play again. Not worth it at all. Just get as many as you can in every level except for those 3. Those are the devil's levels. Every other one is really good. Even I like even like Jolly Roger Brave Ducks and Hazy Maze Cave are a lot better than those three. Devil's fucking threesome, those three. It's Mario 64. Like I love the weird, surreal N64 aesthetic. The soundtrack is in that weird state where you've listened to it a million times in YouTube videos. So it's, but you've never really like truly listened to it, like sat down and like appreciated it. So it's in a weird state of being underrated while still being used by fucking everybody. You know what I mean? Koopa's Road, absolute banger track. Fucking love that one. Yeah, Mario 64, very good. Doom 2, it's been long enough since I played Vanilla Doom 2. I'm actually going to give a non-applicable to this one. I'll give it a 6. I want to play it normally because the randomizer felt very different in how I approached it. It felt very burnout inducing. But I'm going to give it an NA for now, but future stream is going to be the Doom series. That is going to be a future series after Sonic. So get ready for that. Doom 2, very fun, very it's Doom, it's timeless. I'm not sure if I like it more than Doom 1. I'd have to like really sit on that, but like the monsters it introduces are perfect. The super shotgun's really fun. Doom is worth your time. I'm out of water. Yeah, I don't have much to say on it. I think I'm not really into the aesthetic. The music's alright. It's fucking Doom. I like it. But I need to give another true shot to truly rate it. So we're gonna give this some time. Hi-Fi Rush. So this is really interesting because I feel like the second I stopped streaming it, I had way more fun with it. My feeling about this game, I feel like the most contrarian asshole because like, people are giving this 9s and 10s. Come on, guys, it's not that good. It's like an 8. Hi-Fi Rush is really good, but it has a lot of problems that I think people sweep under the rug because we don't get games like this enough from large companies, which to an extent I get, but I've played this before. Not literally this, but like I've played a game like this before. First off, out of the gate, we're gonna start with the compliments. Fantastic visual aesthetic, like very good environments. Like everything pops so well. There's so much effort put into the animations. It's so it's genuinely such an amazing feat. I'm not the main character. Shut the fuck up. It is an amazing feat. Like, just on the visuals, it would be a 10 out of 10. If I was just rating the visuals, one of the best looking games ever made. Very nice aesthetic. I love the mix of 2D and 3D and in-game. The music... We'll talk about the music. The gameplay is extremely fun. Asterisk. The combat is so addicting and so good that like I would have been playing it for like weeks after, but my Game Pass expired and I had to pay to play it again, and I don't want to do that. So, ridiculously fun combat. I wish the music was better. This might be like a bold take, but I'm gonna be real. Most of the soundtrack blends in with each other. There are a few levels with insane songs, like the museum one, where it's like very jazzy. Is like that is one of the best songs in the game. The final level where all your friends come together and like it's like we're the best guys ever and we're gonna beat the villain. I that sounds so diminishing, but that is one of the best songs in the game. Fucking fantastic. All the other songs are forgettable. Everything else is forgettable. because all the other songs are generic rock songs that could just blend in completely. I did not care for the rest of the soundtrack. Fucking like one extreme banner jazz theme, one beautiful "we're optimistic and we're gonna stop the devil." I forgot the final boss music. That might also be really good, but those are the two that stick out in my mind. Rest of the soundtrack is whatever. Oh, but some of the licensed music they used was pretty cool. They used like, did I remember right? Did they use like Beethoven's Seventh Symphony for a boss track? That was like, that's the kind of the like weirdness that I really like. Some of the jokes are fucking hilarious. Like the part where you play as the robot for 5 seconds and all you can do is walk and jump, and he's like, "Oh, I'm having so much fun. Oh, this is so delightful." That's fucking hilarious and like a great way to tell a joke in a video game. The Marvel dialogue makes me want to kill myself in the game, in Minecraft. Oh man, the dialogue is so hit and miss. There's like, oh man. Like, I saw a YouTube comment that's like, "This game is a love letter to all mediums. The art, game, and story." Shut the fuck up. It's not, like, people get so pretentious about this game that, like, it makes me a little bit grumpy, but the game is still very good. The number one problem is the downtime. The game has so much fucking boring platforming in it. Like, so much that it's not funny. Because here's the thing: you need downtime. You can't just have combat encounter after combat encounter. You need downtime between them to anticipate and do do some simple like puzzles and platforming with the moves that you have. But the problem is that there's so much of it, and it never evolves. It's the same as Epic Mickey. It's fucking Epic Mickey again. You just double jump and that's it. Like, there's some cool that like, and using your partners in combat, very cool. Like, you have your friends Blue, Green, and Red. I forget all of their names. I think one of them's called Peppermint. It is Peppermint. I think Mario. Dripping Red Madness. There's no yellow one. I can't do Dripping Yellow Madness. Like, that's cool. In platforming, they're fucking boring. The grappling hook has some cool moments, but like some other moments just play themselves. The downtime, like, if they made a sequel, which if I remember correctly, I think they're doing. That would be my number one issue, is fix make the platforming more interesting, have more mechanics in the downtime, because you don't need Mario level platforming, obviously. But I'm gonna be that asshole. I'm gonna point to Rayman 3, because that game, all the stuff you do in combat, you do while platforming, and it still feels good. And this is a very different game. The combat's the focus, so you don't need Mario level platform. You don't need an S tier level platformer. But I just think the downtime is too much, and it often felt like a fucking, like, waiting for the roller coaster. Like, I'm in the wait line, like, oh man, I hope I go to this roller coaster, and then 30 minutes pass and I'm still not on the ride. And then finally I go on the ride for like 3 minutes and I'm like, yeah! And then I get off and I have to go in fucking line again. If this has a 10 out of 10 game inside, but is held back by a few things. Number one, get a new fucking writer. Number two, fix the downtime. And number three, I would have liked a more varied and interesting soundtrack, because a lot of it blends in. There's some fucking bangers in there, but like, I would have like maybe incorporate more genres, got a more like, have like a disco stage, has this more jazzy, have something that's like, Norwegian black metal, where like one of the bosses like decapitates a goat live on stage and like eats it. That would be awesome. Like, maybe that can be the gimmick for the next game, is that there's like, like every boss is like it's like Trolls World Tour. Every boss is a different music genre, and you kind of have to and maybe they're all like pretentious, like, you want to be a rock star, you fucking loser. Have some fucking like 50 like country bumpkin be like, oh, you're going down to these parts. Oh, I'm going to show you how it's done. And they start like going absolutely insane on their banjo, and they turn into like a giant octopus mech that's playing like five fiddles. Point is, very, oh my god, very good game. It got way better when I stopped streaming it. Both just like the actual game got better, and also I was able to appreciate it a lot more. I'm very glad I played it. Uh, it feels like the way that people receive it feels like in the land of like that's like in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king. We don't get games like this often from large companies. People are just very excited about it because it appeals to a very specific type of fucking nerd, and to an extent, I'm that nerd. I'm not like number one Hideki Naganuma cocksucker, but I do like Jet Set Radio aesthetically. Gameplay's fucking terrible, but yeah, no, I like. Can you hear me playing with that? Is that picking up on the mic? Sorry, I'm playing with a rubber band. Like, it appeals very hard to a specific type of guy that I only kind of am. And I really did enjoy the game, but I think it gets way too much like praise for what it really is, which is just a really good game. That's all it is. I want more like it, but I think that people are a little too like I'm apprehensive because I think it's getting too much blind praise when it doesn't deserve all of it. It deserves some praise. Very good. Deserves that. It's got an 8 out of 10 on my list. That's very, very, very good. Like I think you should play it, but you don't need to fucking run out and like Pizza Tower, Cuphead. You like kill somebody to play these games. Even like Battle Block Theater, like I think you really should go out of your way to play it. This is like, yeah, I think you should play it. I think you should buy it if it's on discount. So yeah, that's it. Hi-Fi Rush is good, but has issues like most good things in life. Yeah. No, yeah, it's good. I'm just gotta be contrarian asshole about it. Anyway, B3313. I'm going to be. This is like with repaints. You can't really judge this as a typical game. I'm judging it as an experience, and I'm first gonna say, if you haven't seen my stream, without a doubt, you should experience this. I think I'm gonna. I'll give it a 7. I think I'm gonna give it a 7. I might give it an 8. I'll think about it. B3313 is a Mario 64 ROM hack where Mario 64 it is on the surface a beta hack. It is a recreation of the Shoshinkai demo of Mario 64, if I remember correctly. But the second you beat Bowser, it goes fucking crazy. It is very influenced by the MIPS whole wiki, which, if you don't know, is like essentially it's like SCP for Mario 64. Basically, it shows anomalies due to so every copy of Mario 64 is personalized. That's the whole meme. Is every copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized, and the MIPS whole wiki documents a bunch of shit about it. And it's also very influenced by analog horror series like 64 Classified, I think it's by Annie Log, if I remember correctly, who I don't know where they are anymore. Like, I think I followed them on Tumblr at some point, and then their blog just kind of disappeared, so I don't know, maybe they went into the Himalayan mountains. Good for them. But I haven't seen Classified in a long time. I think it's good, from what I've heard. fuck, they made some like such good like N64 era renders analog. That was like I followed that shit for a reason. I didn't even know they made classified straight up. But yeah, B33 very fun. It is more of an experience than a game. It is very weird. I would not recommend playing it if you've seen my stream because a lot of it is built on surprise and like not knowing what you're in for. I would recommend. It's hard to. I would recommend playing and the best way to play it is to try and make a map yourself or with a friend. Like go in, make a big map, and then figure out where everything is and try and get. The only thing I'll tell you is that you need 13 red stars to beat the game, and also some other stuff. But that's essentially your objective is to get the red stars. But more than that, it's about exploring this giant, like non-Euclidean castle, like that's like infinitely large, basically. And there's so much there. There are over 400 stars. I think the largest Mario 64 hack ever made. It has so much content. There is so much weird shit that can happen. It's got a very strong aesthetic. There's genuinely good Mario 64 levels in there, and then actual beta recreations, and then just weird shit meant to fuck with you. It's very fascinating. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's very fascinating, very worth your time. I think you should play. I'm back in the fucking building the game, basically. It's very worth your time if you haven't seen any coverage of it. And even still, there's so much weird shit and it's so like archaic that you might find something that you've never seen before. Like almost definitely. There's some crazy stuff that I never saw in my playthrough because I just couldn't find it. But yeah, I think it's very fun. The aesthetic of the beta 3D, very cool. I'm currently editing the video about B3313, or Beetle as I call it. So I'm going to save a lot of my opinions there. But it's very fun. I think it's worth it. Don't go in expecting like the scariest thing in the world. Just kind of like, just let yourself get immersed in the atmosphere and just kind of fuck with it. And just kind of chill out. Mario 63. Oh, people are not gonna like this. Oh, people are not gonna like this. So I played it very briefly during a B33 stream. I played it a lot more off stream. This game fucking sucks. I'll give it a 5 because it's a Flash game. There you go. This is not worth it. Like I like the aesthetic. It's very impressive, but it's so janky, and it's only. I'll give it a maybe. No. Just don't. It's not worth it. Maybe if you have nostalgia for it, if you're kind of into that like Flash aesthetic, it's worth your time. Just as a little experience, but it kind of sucks. It's very janky. Just play Mario 64. I like the idea of a 2D collectathon, and I've thought about how to iterate on it in my mind before, but this is not worth playing now. It's alright. It's okay. It's essentially this 2D Mario 64. Some of it works, some of it really, really doesn't. It's cute, but there's not much to it. I'm gonna give it a no. I'm gonna say if it's for perverts, if it's for game perverts like me, I'm gonna say no. Because you can play it if you want, but it's not worth it. Okay. So now we have two interesting ones that I've never streamed, but I've done videos on. I'm gonna do something controversial and give both of these a 9 and recommend both of them. For very different reasons. Undertale, it's fucking Undertale. You know what it is. It is an RPG about sparing and like choice, and it's very well made. I did a whole video on it. I don't have to fucking explain myself. I won't give it a 10 because for me, just for me, I'm not into it as much as some other games on here. I like more of a strong core gameplay loop that doesn't make Undertale worse. It's just my taste. This is how I feel. I think it's fine. It's very, very good at what it does. It is perfect for what it is. Just not my exact cup of tea, but it's still fucking fantastic. I can fuck with these story-based games. I just would have liked something with... I just, like, if you could have a story of this caliber in an action game, that fucking 10, dude. That would be Peem. But this is what Undertale is, and I don't want it to change for me. I give it a 9. I think it's very, very good. I think if you somehow haven't played it and have experienced it at all, I think it's worth your time. Very funny, very heartwarming. 9 out of 10. Postal 2 is the exact opposite. This is an extremely fun game. It is very cathartic. It is very janky. It is cut very niche, but I would recommend it to anybody who can stomach the crudeness of it, because it kind of feels like a video game, like the video game equivalent to South Park, which, for better and for worse, holy shit. Some of you are going to hear that and go, oh boy, and then some of you are going to hear that and go, oh no. But it's worth playing. It's very fun. It's structured like a collectathon, but for a first-person shooter. There's a lot of fun secrets you can get. It is extremely funny gameplay. A little bit, racy sometimes, a little bit tug's collar, but it's very fun. It is like, it has very memorable main character, very funny, weird NPCs. Gary Coleman's in it. Oh, I am dying from this heat. It's Postal 2. It's very fun. Again, just watch my video, and I'll tell you all about how I feel about it. Worms Armageddon, this is fucking fantastic. You know what, I'm gonna give it a 9. I fucking love Worms Armageddon. This is one of my go-to multiplayer games alongside Ring Racers. It's ridiculously fun. Controls are very archaic. Once you get used to it, it's very simple. It's very simplistic strategy game. You're just a little worm. It's Peem. You can, like, I mostly enjoy it with doing shitty fucking meme mods where I'm in funny maps, but even if I just had to play the game vanilla, I would have a lot of fun with it, because Worms Armageddon is ridiculously fun, very easy to mod. It's classic for a reason, and I think you should pick it up with some friends, and you'll have a good old time. It's another game you play with the boys, but it's also just very genuinely very well designed and fun. Hard recommend. There's a million game modes to play with it. A lot of different like so many different loadouts you can do. Maps specifically designed for, like, you can do ninja rope races. You can do like there's like a handful of community game modes. It's Peem. It's Peem. Yeah, there's just not much to say about it, because it's just kind of a very simple, fun multiplayer game. But I really enjoy it, and I want to stream it more. It's fun. Media Thieves. This is a very interesting case because I made this game. So I'm going to put a non-applicable here for both, because I can't necessarily judge it myself, but I think it's very fun. It's so ridiculous. It was so ridiculously fun to design. If you were already near the... It's been like 2.5 hours, man. It's been a while. I think it's very fun. I think it's worth your time. Play it with your friends, and make your own cards, because I've gotten a lot of really fun cards out of people playing it and suggesting their own ideas. And we're working on I have a couple more important projects right now, but we are slowly shipping out a big content update that I think is going to be very fun. There's some really fun new cards. There's some new mechanics. I think that people will really enjoy the new franchises we have represented. Getting a lot of nerd shit, knocked out. But even now, I think the current version is very fun to play. I think it's worth a try, because you can play it on Tabletop Simulator, or there's also just a Google Drive that contains all the assets. You can print it out yourself and play it physically, if you have the right dice for it. You can just Google, like, roll D8 for me and shit like that. But, like, there's a whole how to play thing. the game. It's I think it's very fun. I played the older version physically, and I played a lot of the new version tabletop sim. I want to play test it. I want to play test it more with people because there's a bunch of new cards. I think this game is really worth your time. And again, once you play it, it's really fucking addicting to make cards. I have so much fucking card-based brain rot from this game. I need to make a million billion cards. There is a Google Doc for a rule set. You can find everything. I'll link the Steam Workshop page. Hold on. Ooh, 28 current subscribers. That's very nice. I would have hoped for more, but can't always get what you want. Here you go. Information for the game is all there. You should be able to click on it and look into it. We're working on a big update. The main thing is, well, I'll talk about that when the update's out, because oh my god, I'm almost done with this. I want to fucking stop. I'm tired. But yeah, I think the game's worth your time. I think you should play it, and it's very fun to design. And you're like, I have card brain rot now. I need to make cards of everything I like. Super Mario Brothers 2. It's Mario 2. I'll give that a yes. I think it's alright. I'll give it a 6. I'll give it... kind of mixed on it. I had a lot of trouble with it. I had a lot of problems with it. It's very interesting to go back on because it was originally this weird black sheep that changed all the rules. But looking back, it introduced a ton of stuff that would be mainstays in Mario games, like picking up and throwing things, and the bombs and Shy Guys. It's alright. It's Mario 2. I think it's pretty fun. It's okay. It's better than Mario 1. We got a lot of very cool, weird environments, like the fucking whales. It introduced Birdo, who is our icon. Women win. It's Mario 2, basically. Oh yeah, there's multiple playable characters, is very interesting. I just picked Luigi the whole time though. Peach pissed me off. Yeah, that's basically it. Is that the whole thing? Yeah. Alright. Suck on that, grapefruit. I finished my whole fucking list in one stream. So what we're gonna do, I think every 6 months or so we're gonna come back to this, and we're gonna rank these more, and we're gonna kind of, maybe you'll be able to see my palette more, because I've kind of been mostly streaming classics and games that I love, so I want to try streaming weird shit. I want to try, snuffing out the backlog. This is very fun. I'm just very exhausted now. It's getting really hot, and I'm dying, and my throat hurts, but I did have fun. I might go back to this and edit some of these, but I'm generally proud with this. I gave a lot of 10s. I gave more 9s and 10s than I thought. But, yeah. You might disagree with some of this. Grapefruit doesn't even play more games than you do. Yes, so fuck you, Grapefruit! I win! I'm the winner! No, it's fine. Yeah, so next stream, I finally decided I'm gonna give up on the bit that I wanted. I'm just gonna stream Adventure 2. That's gonna be my next stream, almost definitely, because I've been itching to play it so much. When was even the last Adventure 1 stream? How long ago was it? Was it a year ago now? Okay, 3 months ago. That's fine. Okay, it hasn't been too long. It's felt like a lot longer. But, yeah, Adventure 2, next stream, be there or be square. I'm gonna give... I kind of realized that, the bit I wanted was fucking demented. So I'm just... Should I not say demented? I think I'm not supposed to say demented. I'm trying to remember. No, no, it's not Dimension. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. I'm sorry. I read a post about like things you shouldn't say. I confused Dimension for something else. So no, that's fine. Or is it? I'm gonna shut the fuck up and turn off the stream. Thank you everybody for coming. Uh, bye everybody. Wave goodbye. Adventure 2 next. Not doing that bit anymore. I sadly could not. My rival will not be making an appearance in Adventure 2.